But I'll ask you my.
We're recording, and I'm
Yeah,
not
we-
even ready.
Oh,
But I am
see.
curious to know what you said.
Oh, that is little like one of them little 0-calorie juice packets I put in the bottle. It's Sunkissed Lime, one of those. It's 10 calories, so I'm with it.
What else is in that bottle?
Oh, that's it. That's it tonight. I had to get a little, pick me up. It's late.
Right.
So
Cool.
yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all good?
Yep. Yes,
Community,
sir.
Community Coalition Show back in this thing.
Yep. What's good, y'all? Gang,
I
gang.
know what's up, and everybody's here. Wow.
Sir.
All right. David's back. What up, Dave?
What up? Oh, it's my skin.
Wait a minute, wasn't David there last Monday?
Yeah, I was.
David, no,
Right.
David was there last Monday. Hold on.
I wasn't.
You weren't. And David was gone all week.
Right.
Yeah.
So both of y'all was out shaking ass. That's what it was.
You know what? I can't even front. I was shaking ass.
But I was gonna say he was legit shaking ass.
Yeah, he's all over that wedding. I know.
Oh man.
So Yendi was globetrotting all over the world.
Call me Wendy.
Yendi, sorry, I got a little something in my mouth. Chill.
Pause.
I'm not. You know what? We got it. We in that.
We'll have that conversation.
Yes, I'm so sick of that. I'm not saying pause. I'm not saying no cap. I'm not saying that stuff. You know what? I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna say what I say. And if it sounds funny to you, that's your problem. That's that's a whole
that shit.
That's a whole nother part. Because I'm sick of that.
You gonna fast forward that shit?
Pause. I just don't care anymore. I don't care about that. Like
I feel like I'm too old for that.
Yeah. If I want to say something, I'm gonna say something. If you think it's funny, that's you. Yeah. Like to me, that's more of an immaturity than actually saying something immature.
Right. And not only immature, but like insecure.
Yeah. All that stuff, Right. So we're gonna get rid of that. All right. So let's get into the task at hand. Y'all was gone all week. Doing y'all thing. I was gone.
I was gone one day.
It felt like all week. Y'all left me by myself. So lonely. Oh,
you're married, bro.
And they was gone too.
We're going too.
Everybody was gone. Everybody left me at the same time. Holding the pillow by myself in the bed, wrapped up, crying and stuff. Yeah. So we back. It is good to see everyone again.
Yep. I might need to actually see you so that I might do you need a hug, bro?
You need a hug? I might need a hug. I don't know. It's all good. I'm talking trash, but we'll see what
next time I see you.
We'll see what next week. I might not be here next week. So we gonna see.
Next time I see you, you'll get a hug from me.
Okay. See, and we can do that. But let's get into it because I know we're doing our thing. This is an interesting conversation. I know you brought up, David.
Yeah.
So what's up with this whole?
So I saw a conversation like last week on Twitter, last week on Twitter that was like, why do people use the term like people of color when color was not it's not a, like, how do I say it? It's not a term of endearment, or it wasn't a term of endearment. And so I also started to kind of find it all right, I'm gonna say it. I feel like the term is like overused, and especially overused by people that may not qualify as people of color.
Okay.
That's just me.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, I was actually sitting here trying to go through the roots before we started the show, like where they really come from. But so I will say this for those who don't know, there's this whole thing going on now where it looks like Black people, I guess, are tired of saying people of color. They're tired of being referred to that way. And so it seems like there's time for a change. And Black people are calling for, there's a group of Black people calling for a change of this phrase, this term that's been used, people of color, So
I'm not a person of color. I'm Black.
Yeah, but I mean, So I saw articles back from like 2019, 2020. People starting to say this. So it looks like it's been growing, legs and some steam over the last couple of years.
Deeper, 2016.
Right.
Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties over here.
Nah, you good.
You good.
Yeah. So, okay. I get it. I guess. I think color probably is a dated term at this point.
Right.
But
high key offensive too, a little bit. Like,
I was trying to look into it to find out the why.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Did you come up with anything? Because like,
all right, I do have. Okay, how do I say this now? All right, so if you talk to if you talk to me, if you ask me, hey, are you black? I'll say, I will answer the question, yes, I am black. Hey, are you African? Yes, I'm African. Hey, are you African American? Yes, I'm African American. Hey, are you a first generation American? Yes, I'm a first generation American. There are so many ways to classify me, and I understand that like not everybody is going to like identify with these boxes, but as long as you're not disrespecting me, I do fall under all of these qualities. Under these categories. Because one, I'm Nigerian. My parents are from Nigeria.
Right.
Yes, gang, all day, every day. I was born in San Francisco, so and y'all know I rep the Bay hard.
Yeah, really.
No, you saw you said that. Yeah, like
if you
passionate.
If you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. Like I rep San Francisco, like because I was born in San Francisco, and
okay.
But like this is a conversation I've had with myself like so many times because I really do identify as all of these things. The only thing I feel a way about is if you ask me about it with a disrespectful intent.
And I get that. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. So it's like, as I was going through this first, I was like, I think it's dated because we called ourselves colored.
Yeah.
Black people called ourselves colored. We have, United. What's the
NAACP?
Yes.
I thought honestly people were offended because of, that's how they separated us back in the day. This is the color folk washroom, the color folks counter. That's why I thought people were offended by it. But again, I couldn't really find the why. I was trying to find the why,
I guess
the topic, listen to it from their point of view, like the why. I mean, I get it. I want to be called black. I'm proud of my blackness, but
I guess my question is why now? That's the one I keep going back to. Like, yes, we've been using this term. It's been there. We going through decades. Right. What has sparked the change now? That's the one thing I couldn't really figure out too. Why people are doing this.
And I think I know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll tell my piece later when you're done. Because I was just going to say, sorry. No, go ahead. It's like driving a car. No, you go. No, seriously, you go ahead.
I think the reason that we're seeing it so much now is because, because I think it's a get out of jail free card.
I see what you're saying.
Like if you saw the recent episode of Atlanta, there's an episode of Atlanta where the dude talked to his wife and he was like, "What? You were white yesterday?" She was like, "I'm Peruvian," and I was and I it was.
Is this from season 3? Because I ain't there yet, David. I'm not there yet. I got other
spoilers. Sorry, spoilers. I'll give you my Hulu account.
I don't need it. watching other shows first.
Right. But like there's things like that. And I feel like there are a lot of people that are, it's not that they are, I think they're abusing the term. That's what I think it is.
Yeah. Okay, I can see what you're saying. I just pulled up something. Apparently person of color goes back to like the late 1700s. Yeah. So again, PLC, but that's what he was using, person of color. Yeah. But I think,
yeah, I get it.
We fight so hard for so many things. When are we gonna fight for the N word? Like,
I mean, I feel like we already have.
Nah, because I feel like it's not okay for Hispanics to say it. It's not okay. But we don't say nothing. We allow that.
No, because we allowed it in our culture. We gave passes. We made it a term of endearment for a lot of people, so people felt comfortable using it now.
Yeah.
I said, think about it. The N-word is the one racial term that is accepted by its own people.
Right.
Call someone a slur from their culture and watch how they go off with it. Yeah.
They ain't cool then.
Yeah. It's okay because it's the A and not the hard R, is what they say.
I mean, either way, but I think we did that though.
Yeah.
I think as a culture, we allowed that to happen when we started calling ourselves that. Am I guilty of it? Yeah, I don't know. But
yeah, I am too.
But we this is where we are now.
But also,
we took it and we tried to flip it and say, so we gonna be it. But if we add that A, it's not as bad.
And once you flip it and make it part of the culture, and you put it everywhere in the culture, you think other people not gonna ride with it? And then we individually.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's that people see it and say, hey, I want to be cool like that too.
But that's what I'm saying. We made it part of the culture and we've benefited from it. Mm-hmm. Like it's in movies, music, all parts of our culture.
TV.
We've allowed our friends to say it. Oh, you cool, you can say it. Like,
I just don't understand why we okay with Spanish people saying it, but
because we pick and choose. And that's the problem with Black culture. We're never the same across the board. We can never be in agreement with anything across the board. We always try to pick and choose, and then we get mad when everyone else is confused about our rules.
Right.
Our rules are inconsistent. They are.
Absolutely.
Right. And to go back to what we're talking about, to not get off topic, it reminds me of the article that I was reading, because that's what the person in the article was saying. Like, Black people don't want to be called this, but then next week they want to be called this. And now this week they don't want to be called that. Now they want to be called this. It's like we picking and choosing.
And that's what I've been seeing too. So that's why like doing research on this has even been tough. Trying to figure out, okay, where is this coming from? Because it's us. Like, and I say this, I don't care. We have control over this stuff.
Right.
But again, we know we have so many reasons why we don't have proper direction when it comes to even what we are identified as.
Right.
And
it's really difficult to classify that because everyone has different rules.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, because Black people, our Black culture has no clear leadership. Yeah. We have no clear direction. No one's driving the boat on us right now. Matter of fact, we ain't even driving the boat. It's probably some white Jewish dude driving the boat on us. Let's keep it 1,000 right now. You know? So when we get issues like this, like, I'm gonna be completely honest, like
where is this coming from? I was trying to find the why. Because I was like, the reason why I thought was not the reason at all. So like, what's the reason?
What was the reason you thought?
I thought it was because, people of color, I thought it was going back to when they used to call us color folk. That's what I thought. And people were just like, hey, you know what? It was negative back then, There was a lot of negativity around it. So I thought that's why they didn't want to be associated with it. But that wasn't the reason.
So one thing I could see over recent years, right? We started with POC. Now we've even branched out to BIPOC, which stands for it's Black Indigenous People of Color, Person of Color.
Right.
So I think what's happening, this is just my guess, but I'll roll with it. We have other groups of people now identifying as people of color. Because when you say person of color, that doesn't just mean Black people anymore.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Do we want to be separate? Is that what it is?
I think that's where we're getting to now because we have our Native people, other people who were born in this country who are not white. They are technically a person of color.
Right.
You know, so now I think, yeah. And so, you know, I wonder if Black people are starting to feel the like our thunder's being stolen a little bit.
Right. And I thought about this, like, I think what's happening with them, especially, is that, well, I shouldn't say them, I should say us, but I think they're trying to take the word back, just like how we took the word nigga back.
So, which word are they trying to take back?
Like person of color.
Person of color?
Like they're trying to make it like literally, I think it's the same thing that's happening with nigga.
Might be. But so it's so blurred now, but times have changed. Like I said, if person of color is rooted back to the late 1700s.
Just be called African Americans. We are African Americans plus Mark.
But that's the problem too. Like people have issue with African American.
What do we want to be called? Because we can't be called brown because now Indian people are now calling themselves brown.
People like, so it's like, what are we? Can we come together and figure this out, please?
I'm okay with being called Black.
Where's the Black congregation?
You Black? I'm Black, y'all.
That's what I'm saying.
Black.
But whatever it is, can we just be on the same page? And that's my thing. Like, we have to figure it out. So we can't be mad at other people when they're confused too.
Right. And that's a big thing. Because like I said, everyone has different rules. And
that's the problem here. You know, there's no clear definition.
A list of rules of Blackness. Like somebody need to come up with this.
We do. Yeah. That might be next week.
Maybe we can.
Number one, do not put vegetables in your baked mac and cheese. No.
Oh my goodness. Second rule, do not put raisins in the potato salad. And if there are raisins there, you're allowed to throw it out. Not only are you allowed to throw it out, you're allowed to dump it on the person that made it.
Look, y'all going there.
If we battling, if we're going to go to war about something, let it be something that is
something beneficial to everyone.
I was trying to think of the word. It's like, if I had to pick and choose things I want to go to war for, people of color to me right now isn't on the top of the list. The same thing with Juneteenth, and people probably gonna come for me for that. But Juneteenth, if you think about all of the stuff that we're going through, I don't think giving us a day, and I ain't even off that day, but I don't think giving us a day would be at the top of my list. Like we shout and defund the police, and they gave us Juneteenth.
Right. Yeah, like out of all the days,
it's still being said though.
Yeah, if I need some laws passed, holiday is not the law I'm trying to get passed right now.
I don't think it would have been.
That's not the legislation I'm trying to introduce right now. You know what I'm saying? No.
Trying to get these reparations.
But of course, we accepted that. Did you see when that girl broke down the reparations of like how much the government?
I did actually. Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna get down all that.
Yeah. You might as well just turn over the country.
Other people got paid. We didn't. But
you might as well give us the country.
But
we can't really take the country because it's not ours first. Now the Native Americans is supposed to stay home first.
Right. You right.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So as I'm reading, I'm doing more reading on this, like BIPOC, all these terms. So it looks like
more than that.
It looks like the protesting around that time kind of seemed to spark a lot of this too. George Floyd, during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what?
So that seemed to kind of bring a little bit this conversation to the forefront a little bit more. Things like that have been happening. And I think people just asking more and more questions. And like I said, because we're allowing more and more.
Right. Is it our generation or is it like the boomers too? Because you ever notice that the younger generation will make more waves about things that just the older generation does not feel like is important?
No, this is definitely younger generation, because
right.
the younger generation, they're asking more questions.
Right. And I think that's amazing.
Well, yeah, because I think to me, that's progression. That's the growth of us, right?
Absolutely.
Because think about our previous generations, they couldn't get to people of color. They fighting for basic needs first.
Right.
They was fighting to just be recognized, civil rights movement. So now we come out of that, and then it was like, okay, what's next? Then what's next? Then what's next? So it's like we're fighting a different fight than the previous generations. And I think now the young people are fighting a different fight, and ask certain questions like this.
Right. I don't know if that would have been on the top of my list of things that I'm fighting for, though. I think that would have been maybe at the bottom, because there's so many other things that I think would have been more important that we can make waves about, but we not.
Well, I agree.
Picking the easy battles, and saying, hey, this is something I know we could get done, but it's like all this other shit going on.
Well, that's why I also think too, every generation has to continue to fight. And I feel like the older we get, the less fight we have, and we just kind of give up,
Mom always says, good luck to y'all, because I'm done.
And that's the thing. So it's like, but the things that are over. But the things that are important to us, they didn't get finished.
Right.
That's the problem. So we have to continue to fight.
Right. And with saying that, her fight, like her turn at battle, is over. Now we gotta pick up the pieces. We gotta pick up the guns from where they left off.
I would say yes and no. Battle. I would say yes and no. I say yes, we do have to, but no, I don't think their fight is over. I think it changes.
That's what I tried to tell them.
Okay.
Their fight ain't never over.
No, think about where we are. Yeah,
sorry. I didn't mean the fight was over. I meant their
turn, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
also, yeah, you're right.
So my thing is, over. I think, like I said, if you think about in terms like that, there's different roles for everybody to play.
Yeah,
some people gonna be front lines. They gonna be out there fighting, but then we need some generals too. Yeah. We need some leadership. We need some people directing the fight. We need some people fighting. There's another fight over here. We gotta keep going. There's some strategy. Like we need experience on this stuff, Mm-hmm. So it's like if you think about it like war, we need everybody still in it, but what are you doing within it? Like I said, So that's what I'm saying. There's no leadership. So what are our young people out here doing? They just willy-nilly fighting.
Right.
Here's my question: is with these fights now? I don't know the answer, so that's why I'm putting this out there. With these fights that we are fighting, what are we looking to get done?
That's another question.
You don't want to be called people of color, so what do you want to be called? We don't want to re-elect Joe Biden, or we don't feel like these leaders out here are for us. Then who are we electing? We feel like they didn't give a fuck about us with COVID, but what are we doing to resolve these issues? Because we're not getting more Black doctors out there. So it's like we're fighting this fight, but what is the, oh my God, I can't think of my words this evening.
The end game. What's the goal?
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Too much Sims, my brain fell out.
All good. But that's the question. Like, what is the big picture? Like
that's the battle, because
like,
we don't have
trying to get done.
We don't have leadership, and that's where leadership we would come up with a plan and a strategy and a plan and direction. Right. But it's almost like guerrilla warfare. Right. Every faction's fighting their own little battles, and everybody's running all over the place. So it's one thing. I tell you a quick story that kind of sums this up. Like. Yeah. I remember when, I'm not going to say which gang, there's a gang that was coming up 10, 15 years ago, coming up on a national stage. And one of the things that law enforcement, the people, like our government knew they were coming up. But the one thing they kept saying was they don't have central leadership. There's a bunch of different factions running around at this point, operating independently. And so it was easy for the government to identify who it was and get them up out of there
Easy
because, because there was no leadership. What happened? They unified.
Yeah.
They unified and they developed leadership. And once they did that, have been able to do nothing with them since.
Right.
Same thing. Like, because we're not coming together, we can't even agree on these things. We're all over the place. We're scatterbrained as a culture and a people.
Right.
You
And
know?
I think a big part of it is that we can't agree on a leader, because we could say, oh, let's rock with Joe Biden. Oh, no, we can't rock with him. He's white. He did the crime bill back then. Like, okay,
They
let's
didn't
go with
even want to rock with Obama.
Right.
A lot of us. So be like, oh, Obama didn't do anything for us.
Right.
But you know, we had this discussion already about what the
we did.
president's job really is.
Right. I think it's internal and I think it's external. Right. I think internally Black people can't decide. I don't think there's a lot of people really stepping up trying to be that leader either, because we saw what happened in the past.
We've seen what happened to
our leaders, our leadership.
Right.
Anybody who stepped up,
MLK Jr.,
either they got killed or they got dismantled in one way, shape, or form.
Right.
You know, so I don't think there's a lot of people, like, we got little, like I said, we got our little pockets, but nobody's really bringing themselves up. Nobody's really coming to the forefront to unify everybody. Mm-hmm. Two,
or there's scams, because we had this discussion about
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so our whole culture's jacked up that way. But then also, you don't think they know that if we come together, we're going to make some stuff happen?
Right.
It's in their best interest for them to not have us unify. Right. So they waiting on somebody to pop up so they can tear them down.
Right.
Which I think that's why is what's happening with Joe Biden, because there's a big important election coming up. Not only knows because Hattie talks about it every day, but I feel like they're trying to portray this image like, Joe Biden is this, he's that, he don't care about y'all, and because Black people, I was gonna say people of color, but I mean, in this situation, it is people of color because it's the Blacks and Hispanics.
Yeah.
We are, when we vote, it's big.
Right.
So they try to paint this picture like they don't really give a fuck about us, so that we won't vote in the fall for this election. It's a wrap for everybody. You might as well just go back to Trump 2024, because that's what's about to be.
And glad you brought that up. Look at the difference into us as a people. The message is being fed. Oh, they're not doing nothing for you. They're not doing nothing for you. Keep all the leadership down. Right. We see the flip side of what unionizing as a people does.
Look what they did because the Black vote is so important. Again, only knows because it's being
but it's true.
They are changing the jurisdictions and the voting so that, Black people vote in this jurisdiction, so let's move them. They're changing it up.
Right. So they're just moving the goalposts.
That's what it is. But because they understand the power, and there's a unified group of people, they don't care who's at the top. They put the buffoon at the top just to keep it going.
Think about how just got in trouble for embezzlement.
Think about how crazy this is, though. They know Trump is not the best guy for them. They know he's not. But rather than see their movement crumble, they would rather get behind this guy, knowing it's some bullshit, knowing that he's all over the place, knowing that he's corrupt and that's how strong the union is.
If people don't believe racism is real, look, in Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz is running. I forgot, for governor, I believe. Running for the Senate. I can't remember what he's running for. I don't pay attention. I do pay attention, but not like that. But anyway, Dr. Oz is a Republican. Republicans are smearing him. Why? Because he danced with Michelle Obama. oh, he supports Black people, this, that, and the third. Now, if you don't believe racism is real, those commercials against Dr. Oz is in your face racism.
Yeah. Because, like I said, and it goes beyond party lines at that point. People don't want to hear that too, but no,
right?
They will get rid of one of their own. If he's a Republican and he's showing love over here, they get him up out of here too, because he's not with the program. Right. That's how strong. That's what I'm saying. So, like, when you look at stuff like that, that's unity. And racism brings they are unified in their racism.
And you know what that really is? That's Hydra.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You keep cutting off a head, 3 more.
Yeah, because the unit. So, yeah, whoever's at the top right now, we can work with them. And we work with it. That's how they feel. And we can work with them, okay? But as long as the mission stays strong, well, we over here like all over the damn place. Can't get ourselves together.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, think about it. We had the most qualified person in leadership. You don't get no more qualified than Barack Obama. I'm sorry. Say it. Right. Say what you want.
We don't.
Say what you want.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we fight these fights. I'm not saying that I don't want to seem like I'm bashing my peoples, because I'm not. But we fight these fights, but it's just like we're picking these small ass battles that really.
Yeah. Where is this? Because where is this same energy for police reform? Where is the same energy for combating these voter rights? Right. We don't see any who's fighting this stuff on our end. Right. You know? So yeah,
we need to fight for all of that.
Yeah, this is what the headline is today.
It's funny you say that, police reform, because my mom, when she was at work, her boss he lives in Colorado. He's Black. He was saying that he was witnessing a white police officer pulling over a Black man in Colorado, and he noticed that the police officer instantly had his hand on the gun. Like, he was prepared for some stuff to go down. He was like, should I be recording this?
Probably, Slim. Yes. You think it's bad? Yes. Go ahead and record
it.
Yeah.
Record the police.
You got that inkling? Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So
that could be the difference between a conviction or a death and that person walking off scot-free.
Yeah.
Or that person just being able to leave that situation.
But that just goes back, like, all this stuff, like even these questions we all have as a people. We should have answers for some of this stuff.
We should.
Hey, this situation, what should we be doing? In this situation, what should we be doing? Like, again, to me, that's what I'm saying. We talking about what we're still thinking about this conversation till this day. We're still talking about what should you call us? Come on, man. Like, this shouldn't be an issue. No other race has this issue.
Right.
Yes, they do. They say don't call us Black.
But that's what I'm saying. But they're unified in that front. They're unified in what you call them. Like, go to another race or people and say something out their name, and you got a problem.
Not only that, there are people out there that aren't even comfortable using the word Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have some people who don't want to say it,
because no one knows how to feel about it.
Little kids don't care though. She Black.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not at this point. I can't be upset at another person for what you don't want to call. It's kind of the same conversation we had with, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say this, with the LGBTQ community.
Right.
What exactly?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not that we're trying to be offended. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I want to know.
Right.
How do we pronounce? What do we say? What do we call you? And that's not to be mean or rude. Like, I genuinely want to know, because I don't want to offend you. Right. So I can imagine how the people will say that to Black, because we can't get it together. Right. How do you want me to refer you as? Like, is it person of color? Is it Black? Is it this? Like, so I'm pretty sure other people confused too. Shit, I'm confused right now. Like,
I never really had anybody call me a person of color. They usually call me African American or Black.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even call me African American anymore. They just call me Black.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's regional too. Because I've had those conversations in the Midwest and stuff like that, where we're not as available and they don't really know, because they ain't come across us all the time. But I can see this. But because we're blurring the lines with BIPOC people coming in, So like, yes, people are confused at this point. And like I say, so if people ask you, I don't think, and I'm talking to the listeners, really viewers, I don't think it's a right to be offended off rip. I think some people are just really going to be curious.
Right. And I think it's super important. If someone asks you a question, don't be offended off rip.
Yeah.
Like especially if it doesn't sound like it's with malice, let's educate and not like tear people's heads off.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to Japan, I hear people say all the time, like, when you're in Japan, they're gonna approach you because there's not black people. That's not where we're from. So they'll put their arm up next to you and they'll want to touch your hair, they want to touch your skin, just see if it's real. And they say you just can't be offended because they legit don't see black people like that.
Yeah, it is.
But also I might fight somebody.
But that's the thing.
They're not used to us. So when they see us in person, think about it like this. It's like if you saw a lion on TV, right? Nah, I can't even use that because lions are aggressive.
Not aggressive.
Maybe if you saw a horse on TV and you ain't never seen a horse a day in your life, but you've seen a horse on TV, and the way that you see a horse is portrayed on TV, they're mad aggressive, they clop you on the face. But then when you see a horse in person, a horse is like mad chill, you're curious. So it's like, that's how they look at us. It's like, wow, they're black. Wow.
But also,
really, oh my God, their hair.
But also, don't be touching on them.
But they're not used to us, so they don't know. So they approach you like little kids will legit come and touch you and put their arm up next to you, because now they're like, wow, this is a legit black person that's here in the flesh. So like, they're like, like, oh my God, I've never seen a black person before.
It's like a unicorn.
You ain't gotta go that far. You ain't gotta go that far to Japan. I get this once a week here. I'm a large black man. I tell y'all the stories all the time. People just
approach me. But see, that's different.
But
I don't. Some of them are really. Some of them, I really can't say yes or no. I don't.
If you live here in the United States,
we assume.
We everywhere.
We assume that people. But that's the thing. So I had to get to this point too, where I assume that they see us, but they may not interact with us. And so I had to learn that. So when I go out to certain places where I look around, I'm like, okay, ain't too many of me here. And then one of them comes up like, hey, how you doing? Very curious because they've never had the opportunity to interact. Not even just a large black person too. I'm that guy. I know I'm that guy. But even in certain situations where how I dress, what they see on TV, that's not me all the time. When I show up somewhere with a suit on and all they've seen on TV is black people being portrayed negatively, and they think I'm supposed to be having saggy jeans and stuff. When they see me in the suit, they're like, that's not the vision I had, what was presented to me. And so, yeah, I know that sounds extreme, but
these people white? Are they just
not all the time? Not all the time.
I was asking if they're white because
not all the
people
time.
were saying racism in the United States is different than racism in Japan.
I take this. I know it is, but I think I've told this story before. I used to manage a group that was primarily African. And when I first met them, when I first started working, they were looking at me sideways. They didn't really communicate with me. And it took me a couple months. And I remember I had a staff meeting a couple months later, and they saw how hard I worked. And so I was really for them. And they came to open up, and we had a long conversation. They said, we didn't know about you at first.
Right.
And I said, why? Because that's not what they've seen from black people in this country. And they told me that flat out, and they were honest about it. And I appreciated it.
Well, we say the same thing about Africa because it's like when you see Africa on TV, it's portrayed as a poor, rundown country, people dancing in the streets,
with in huts and stuff. Yeah,
but when you see Africa, you're like, dang, I was just watching, what the heck? It's this reality TV show about the people in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
They got money.
They got money.
They got big money. And I'm like, yo, why don't they show this side. Like we don't see how it is over in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just see poverty porn, basically, is what it's
Right.
for.
Yeah, all we see
No,
the
but
feed
that's
the
real.
children commercials and stuff all the time. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like in
And
Zimbabwe, like they don't show how beautiful it is over there.
The modern cities, everybody getting
Right.
it. Yeah.
and you know why? Because if Africa was portrayed in a positive light, what are we doing here? Nah, I'm leaving. Why am I being disrespected? I don't need this. Let me go back. Let me go back to the motherland and let me
keep people
cook.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But that's what it is. So that's why I
don't need this shit.
That's why I say we assume and we think that everybody knows, but nah, we getting it here too. Like we see it here.
Absolutely.
Crazy. It's crazy how perception and how things are presented really skew how we view and treat other people by design, of course. Can't tell me it's not designed to be that way. Like, and then we just, like I said, we just continue to keep doing it to each other. Like, I'm pretty sure if we went to Japan, I would love to see how Black people are portrayed in their television, how Black people are portrayed in their media over there, if there's many Black people at all. Like, I would love to know. So that's why I'm pretty sure, they'd probably be curious because they don't have the same interactions, even on a media standpoint, as we do here. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember we went through that whole thing in the late 80s, early 90s where we thought that all Asian people knew karate.
Yeah.
You know, or when they say all Chinese people are good at math.
Yeah. Like, because that's what was presented to us. You know,
well,
that's what stereotypes.
There's some people over there who are obsessed with our culture. Like they tan their skin really dark.
Right.
They
have dreads.
They braid their hair like ours because they just love our skin.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we appreciate the things we like. And, you know, if they're taking the beautiful things from our culture and they love the beautiful things from our culture, I'm okay with that. Right. Because I'll take the beautiful things from other cultures and incorporate them in what I do.
Oh, I definitely take Japanese culture off that.
Yeah. Like,
and Korean.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful thing. If we're all doing that, and we're all loving each other, and it's all like, you know, we're respecting everybody's culture, learning from everybody's culture. Cool. As long as we're not being offensive to anybody, that's when we start having issues. You know,
just no disrespect. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Because once you disrespect me, don't give me a reason to be disrespectful. That's all I'm saying.
And so to keep it pushing too. So before we leave this topic, can we all agree that we just gonna call each other Black?
I'm down.
Yeah, like, all right. Hey, okay. I just had to come to a resolution on this topic. Like, can we just all right, keep it moving. All right. I know we got a couple of Bobs and Karens. I saw one too. I had to laugh at. Let's do a couple real quick.
Okay. So we got an old Bob that opened a stranger's door and said and harassed them. The dude, Bob, was like holding the door so that the dude can close his door. And he was like, "You guys aren't welcome here."
Yeah, Bob went off. We got to make it a point to say they were young Black boys. And they recorded him. He walked up and opened their door, asked them what they were doing here. You know, they going back at him. He told them, and they were trying to be reasonable with him. Right. They didn't go off. They didn't pop off on him. They recorded him. You know, pretty much. One of the boys told him, like, "Hey, you don't really know. You don't be opening people's doors. You don't know if he's crazy or not. We could hurt you."
Right.
And he said, "I got a gun." He said, "I'll shoot you." Okay, old
That's
Bob.
what the Bob said?
Yeah. He said, "You're not from around here."
Somebody's door and tell them you got a gun.
So the long conversation, pretty much, he said,
"You ain't gonna get to that gun before I pop off."
He said, "This neighborhood is white. You don't look like you from around here, so I'm seeing who you are." It's pretty much what he said.
Wait, was this their house door?
No, it was a car door. They were sitting in the car. He walked up to their car door, opened their car door up like it was his car. So you touching other people's property, you invade people's privacy. Right. Yeah. So I'm like, imagine.
Experienced the Bob and the Karen. But can you imagine if somebody did that to me? I'm going to jail for life.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get it because you're not going to open up my car door and then tell me you have a gun.
Yeah.
And if you got a gun, you know what they say, you better shoot first, because
Right.
Man, if I see Bob walking up on my car, go ahead, old self, try to open the door. First of all, I'm gonna fling the door open so hard I'm gonna hurt you with the door.
Right.
I'm gonna hurt you with the door. Like, good luck with that one, Bob. My car doors are heavy too. Yeah, you getting bopped with it.
Saying, like, white people make it so hard. They really make it hard. I tried to Google what is the most hated race because I thought it was gonna say them.
The Caucasian.
That's a nasty
like
poll.
You try, like, you really try, because we always say there's some good white people, but the negative ones just make it bad for the whole.
Right.
That's the hard thing, and because they really are. And shout out to all the good white people. I know a lot of them too, and that's the hard part. There are
I'm telling them, like, your people at it again.
Yeah, like, come on, yo, like, can't you excuse him? Like, and it'd be wild. Like, he was old. First of all, what is he gonna do? He ain't had no gun. He had on little Bermuda shorts. He wasn't gonna pull nothing out. He could barely hold his cane.
He was gonna go home and get the gun. That's what he was.
He wasn't gonna make it home. Them little young boys would have mollywopped him up and down that street. There was some young boys too. Like,
you don't want to mess with people that are younger than you.
But like you said, the audacity. I think that's what
the Caucasity.
The Caucasity, that's what they call it. But like
he legit came down from the Caucasus Mountains
to do whatever, to feel like he's going to do whatever he wants. That is
out of his way.
Yeah, that is a crazy mindset. I'm gonna bypass my personal safety. I don't care about my personal safety at that point. Like the entitlement at that point, I'm gonna run up on somebody. Like, that's crazy.
Because
absolutely.
Excuse me. You know what they're gonna say? It was self-defense. Like, oh, I was threatened by them. They were a threat.
Because that's their card to go to.
Right, because you opened someone else's car door, a stranger's car.
That's why recording this stuff is so important. That's the thing. So that was one. I think we got like one more. Two more.
Black people need body cams,
bro. We got a few.
Let's do a couple. I'm looking to take a time.
All right. Officer gets leave because he lost a fist fight. And I frame it that way because like Bob started, like, he got in a fight with a black dude. They really start fighting, and then Bob got his ass whooped.
Did he tell him square up or something? Like, that was like
no. Bob was trying to harass him, and Bob got his ass kicked.
Oh, it wasn't the cop. It was regular Bob.
No, no. Bob was an officer.
He was an officer.
And he got his ass whooped.
See, that badge don't automatically make you have hands, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently not.
So he said he got leave because he took an L.
Yeah, he got leave.
That's duty with a black eye. Dang, it's rough.
There was another Officer Bob that got convicted of using excessive force on a black woman.
Of course.
There was a student at school that tried to share her lunch with someone that didn't have food for lunch, and they got told that they couldn't do that. So, so it's kind of a loaded story. Black girl, she wanted to share her lunch with a student. School steps in and was like, "Hey, you can't do that." And so, like, it was kind of a loaded story. I didn't get everything, but like the TLDR was that black girl was trying to share her lunch with somebody that didn't have food. And once the school saw that, they said that the girl couldn't do that. Then once her mom stepped in, she asked them, like, "So what's going on? You guys won't let people share food?" And they said no.
That's hilarious. I mean, Who gets caught? That's what I'm saying. Like, who gets caught? Yeah, okay, you got to catch me donating food, whatever. Tell it. Yeah, that's when you tell somebody, yeah, okay, and then you go on and do about your business. Like, whatever,
Right.
yo. You can't catch me.
I'm gonna keep going.
You can't catch me. You can't stop me for real.
Right.
But you gonna watch me every day during lunch to make sure I don't share my food? Get out of here, yo. I'm like, all right.
Let me.
All right.
You know it's.
And first of all,
my elementary school kind of did this.
But that's what I'm saying. And I kind of understand why. If you're talking about like food allergy, stuff like that, I could see maybe a logistical reason why. But if you got that much time, trust me, as a school to be watching every individual kid or the same kid every day, for them to be sharing food, right? Dang, there must not be anything. There must not be no fights, no incidents going on over here. They must have plenty of time to do whatever. You watching people like that? Whatever. That's what I say. If I was that kid, I'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. Nah, keep doing it.
I think wrong. One way my school kind of tried to bypass that was kids that didn't have lunch had to go to the office.
Well, that's another thing. How about focus on how can we get kids lunch?
Right.
Lower the requirement for lunch tickets because I wasn't allowed to get lunch tickets.
Help the kid who doesn't have lunch.
Right.
The hell. There's plenty of food running around these schools.
They used to give you like a lunch ticket for a day if you forgot your lunch. And I would purposely forget my lunch just because.
You wanted the school?
That bagel and cream cheese was lit.
Right today.
My school had that too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so to go through all of that, how about you? The way you deal with that is help the student who needs it.
Right.
So that they don't have to give their lunch away.
Mm-hmm.
Adults, we can do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell is our focus at? Stupidness, man. Help the kid. Somebody get a kid. I used to do that. I'm sorry, as a teacher, I used to do that all the time. You can kiss my grits. You can get me in trouble. If the kid needed food, I used to store snacks in the closet just in case. For real, that's what we did as teachers. And if we saw a kid who needed something, we would hold them down. Right. I'm gonna leave these kids walk around hungry, man.
Because that's what you're supposed to do as not only a teacher,
just a human.
Also, you're a dad, so you understand that, like,
a human being, yo. I'm not gonna let the kid be hungry.
Right.
Get the kid some food. Then that's how you solve that problem. That kid doesn't feel like he has obligated to give his or her lunch away, and the kid gets the needs met. It's problem solved. 2 seconds. Done.
Boom. Right there. Let me give y'all one more. A woman got arrested for having fentanyl pills on her.
I saw that. She had that stash.
She really did, because apparently it was worth 1.4 mil.
Yeah, she had that stash. Shorty taking that L.
She's going away for a while.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Karen, she be all right.
Yeah. It will be all right.
Drug Karen.
Drug Karen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all. I saw that one. Yeah. But I don't know. That's crazy.
I just tell you, it's thunder and lightning over here. And my dog has anxiety.
Oh, he's stressed.
And I keep getting off camera because he's farting, them silent farts, and it stinks.
Yo.
Yeah, I know about those.
It smells so bad.
The dog silent but deadly. Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Like every time I open my mouth, it just fizzles up because he's like hiding right under my feet. So it just fizzles up in the air and hits me, and I'm like,
oh my God. Doggy.
Yeah. Anxiety. Dog used to do that to me all the time.
It's like legit anxiety farts.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Like, you remember them little stink bombs back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah. They still sell those.
That's foul. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That just made my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
That's what it smelled like, some rotten ass eggs.
Yep.
All right. On that note, I think it's time to wrap this thing up, yo.
Oh, wait, before we go, we are, don't forget, we're sponsored by the Black Squirrel Media Network.
Yeah.
If you like dogs, come to Black Squirrel.
Come to Black Squirrel. Help them out. You know,
Help him have a
I
healthy
would say
diet.
give him a hug, but then that might make it worse.
I'm surprised he didn't jump up in my lap because
Yeah.
as soon as that thunder hit, he just ran under my foot and started shaking, and the pop started blowing.
Oh Lord. Yeah. On that note,
Fun.
be safe. Hopefully your dogs, everybody's okay and safe.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, man. Till next week, y'all. We out. Peace.